Morning in the valley of Vrindavan hummed with a steady, living rhythm. Cows lowed in the pastures, a deep, resonant sound that carried across the fields. Sparrows darted through the canopy, their wings beating in time with a sharp, rhythmic chirp. Krishna moved near the riverbank, his feet light, the sound of his anklets jingling with every skip. By afternoon, the village square was a hive of motion. Men hauled heavy baskets of grain and fruit, stacking them high for the grand festival of Indra. Krishna walked to his father, Nanda, and tugged at his sleeve. He waited for the older man to turn before speaking. "Father, why do we offer our harvest to the sky?" Nanda pointed upward, his eyes fixed on the clouds. "Indra sends the rain that feeds our soil." Krishna turned and gestured toward the towering Govardhan Hill. Its slopes were thick with emerald forests, casting long shadows over the valley floor. "But the hill provides the grass for our cows and the shade for our homes. Should we not honor the earth that sustains us?" The village square went silent. Men stopped mid-stride, baskets held in place by frozen hands. They looked from Nanda to the massive, ancient stone face of Govardhan. The decision spread through the village like a ripple in a pond. One by one, the villagers redirected their harvest, placing the grain and fruit at the base of Govardhan Hill instead of the altars. They worked with a new focus, their movements deliberate. High above the clouds, the shift did not go unnoticed. Indra watched the offerings pile up at the base of the stone slopes, his face flushed with sudden, hot fury. He did not speak, he acted. The sky above the valley turned a bruised, sickly purple. The air pressure dropped, making the ears pop. Boom! A deep, resonant thunder rattled the village huts, shaking the foundations of every home. The birds stopped mid-flight and vanished into the thickets. Whoosh! A violent gale tore through the trees, snapping branches like dry twigs. The wind howled, whipping dust into the air until the horizon blurred. Then the deluge began. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, splash. Rain fell in solid, heavy sheets, turning the dry soil into thick, clinging mud. The riverbanks overflowed, sending water rushing into the streets. Cows huddled together in the rising water, letting out panicked, high-pitched cries. Families scrambled toward the higher ground, their voices rising in a desperate chorus of terror. The mud swirled into the streets, thick and cold, pulling at their ankles. Krishna stepped out into the downpour. He did not run. He walked toward the base of Govardhan Hill, his movements fluid and precise. He reached the jagged rock face and pressed his left pinky finger against the stone. The ground groaned, a deep, tectonic sound. With a sudden, upward motion, he hoisted the entire mountain into the air. The massive base detached from the earth, tearing free. "Come quickly!" Krishna called out. The villagers sprinted toward the shelter, their footsteps echoing against the wet stone. Krishna held the weight steady, his arm locked, his gaze fixed on the horizon. As the last family scrambled into the dry space, the mountain settled firmly on his fingertip. Outside, the storm raged with apocalyptic fury. Boom! Crash! Whoosh! Splash! For 7 days and 7 nights, the world outside remained a blur of grey water and violent air. Krishna stood motionless, his gaze fixed on the horizon. He did not blink, he did not tremble. His arm held the weight of the earth as if it were a feather. Beneath the stone canopy, the villagers watched. Outside, the storm raged with an intensity that defied nature. Lightning tore through the clouds. Indra peered down from the heights, his face twisted in disbelief. He poured more power into the clouds, but the mountain did not budge. The pride of the god began to crack under the weight of his own failure. The clouds began to thin, the violent roar of the wind softening. The rain slowed to a rhythmic drip. Indra descended from the heights, his head bowed in profound shame. The storm finally silenced. Krishna lowered the mountain with a gentle, tectonic thump as it settled back into its original place. The clouds tore open, and the sun broke through, casting a warm golden glow over the saturated grass. Birds resumed their songs, a sudden chorus of life rising from the canopy. The cows wandered back into the pastures, grazing peacefully. In the village, the air grew still. The tension of the long storm dissolved into the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers. As the stars began to twinkle in the velvet sky, the village of Vrindavan drifted into a deep, quiet slumber. Feel the calm of the valley. The world is safe, and everything is at rest. Good night, sweet dreams.